can do it if you'd like. Jacob, because he's a celebrity, a micro-celebrity, we'll say, he was asked by Tinder to take a selfie to confirm his identity. And when he tried to take the selfie, he got an error message because it said, please look into the camera.
It said, look straight into the camera.
Oh.
He was.
Why didn't you, Jacob?
Well, I tried. Trust me, I tried.
Look, I love you, Jacob, but also we need to get this game going. Thank you, gentlemen.
Have a great day, Jacob. We love you.
Yeah, it gets better. There's actually other apps, so
yeah, you'll be all right. You know
lots
what?
of options.
They don't deserve you.
No, Jacob's a catch, man.
And speaking of love, man, this head-to-head. We get MOUZ, we get FaZe Clan. I love this matchup. I don't love the Shuhei removal. That for me kind of takes some stock out of the MOUZ camp, but I think that Jacob is kind of fighting a fight at the moment to kind of reinvigorate some of the confidence that I do agree with him, where it felt like online the conversation was like, oh, MOUZ are doomed now. Hey, listen, it's going to take up a step up from many pieces across MOUZ. Everybody's going to have to contribute alongside Brolin in order to keep their system in place, but maybe that's what they wanted. Oh! And maybe it won't stop them from still just popping heads. Oh! Torzy, wow. 3 kills in the pistol, 4 frags. Torzy, leader or not, this guy turns this around. And just with it, a chance at the ace put down by Kerrigan. So speaking of in-game leaders, Kerrigan no longer getting to kind of beat up his little brother in that Kerrigan versus Shuhei head-to-head that we got to watch unfold all throughout the last 2 years. And instead now Kerrigan has to show us a little prowess. He's got to prove IGLs can do it. Xertion into Donut's going to serve up the distraction. Beautiful quad from Torzy to kick off the MOUZ v FaZe head-to-head.
Torzy is in rare form. I think he was like 40 and 18 in their last match. Pretty incredible stuff. So Oppen and fragging really well under Brolan. These 2 shots alone were a clip. This is a beautiful highlight out of Torzy on this pistol round. In this head-to-head, I'd say if there was one mental block from Shuhei's MOUZ, it was the inability to beat FaZe, but that's a consistent feature, whether it's Twist, Liquid, or anybody that plays with Kerrigan or against him or looks up to him.
Yeah. That Kerrigan influence, right? And I mean, the beauty of it is that Shuhei was breaking through. The last 2 best-of-3s they played, it was MOUZ to win the series, but they could never do it in the big ones. Yeah. Yep. And that curse, you know, kind of loomed over top of them for some time. So I think today Kerrigan's going to be representing the in-game leaders because there is a chance Brolin can grow into the role, but it is one of those ones that really, I think, caught a lot of people off guard. He never said he wanted to do it. Seems like a quiet person. You know, doesn't hit you as like the leader of men that many are when it comes to taking over the reins. You know, Apex, I think, in stark contrast to a guy like Brolin, for example. But again, if everybody contributes and if Spinx can have an individual level that much better than Shuhei, then maybe they just bank on the frag department.
Yeah, the way that Pimp and Blair characterized this segment, I think, is absolutely perfect. They covered everything, the history of the matchup, what this means in the roster move, and I loved Jacob's point specifically about how MOUZ might be a team that'll be good because you can frag if you have an upgrade in firepower and stay around the top 5. I wouldn't say it's simply easy to stay in top 5 without a good IGL, but for MOUZ, it's really about can they win tournaments. That was the same question they were trying to answer before. And before they did win tournaments, the question is how big and how consistently can they do that with the pieces that they've got. And a team like FaZe are going to be one that will expose you on the IGL front most.
Well, exposed here inside the B site. God damn, now Elige rocking the M4.
Nice reaction.
Brolin's going to be able to topple him. Still, Kerrigan goes for the safe plant. Won't be able to interrupt that one. And that's a little bit of success with a bit more sprinkled in here. Hard-hitting Desert Eagles between Rain and Elige have put us in a 4 versus 3 advantage. Kerrigan picks that M4 up off the ground. And if he compromises this back line, we'll see. Because right now, Jimpack kind of 2 minds, looks to, join up on Speedway. He's trying to offer that smoke up to the bomb plant, but the bomb's actually still exposed to ramp, and the kills continue to come in. I don't think bomb is properly covered. Now this second smoke does cut it off. MP9 spam gets it off the defuse. Xertion jumps back on, but now I think this is incredibly close. Yo!
Oh, wow.
Incredibly close indeed.
It looked like a mistake to get off the bomb in that moment, and he almost died to the ammo, but perfectly timed here for MOUZ on the defuse. And this is a lot of things going right for FaZe as well with the extra deagle shots that came in. So nice entry out of Elige, but equally good reply from Brolin, who whipped back with his M4 after this opening kill.
I mean, Brolin blind as a bat, and we get that, top-down perspective. He is inside of that smoke, just trying to fire versus the MP9 with a USP of all things for a millisecond defuse. Jimpat, oh God,
Wow,
damn,
that's the
dude.
guy, man. This is the kid.
This is the first gun round, folks. That was 3 AK-47s out of FaZe Clan walking into Yimmy.
Wow.
And Brokey will finally get him on the retreat, but
3.5.
he has done his job and then some. Rain's going to find one back towards middle, which was drawing Brokey backwards, but Xerxin doesn't waste any time taking over the position from the Finn. Actually, I won't call him that because Kerrigan's also named Finn.
And Danish.
The young Finnish superstar, Jimpat.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, that's we've got a very inspired looking MOUZ, and you can see that from their last 2 matches as well. They've got a lot to prove. This will be their biggest match so far. And to be fair to them, playing at Katowice, they were playing with Zelix, who was just subbing in because of boring rules,
Gross. I say less rules the better.
Yeah, less rules.
I'm sure there is a bit of a chip on their shoulder, these MOUZ players, because of the way the roster move, I think kind of shocked the Counter-Strike world.
It was terrible timing. It was out of left field.
Yeah.
And, it speaks to Shuhei's resume that immediately the only conversation is which tier 1 team will he go IGL for now?
Correct, yeah.
Not what will happen to him.
And like, oh God, MOUZ, what fools, kind of felt like the simultaneous dialogue about them.
Yeah. I mean, they're finding IGLs of that caliber are just, it's basically impossible, honestly. Like, how are you going to get Apex off of Vitality? How are you going to get Kerrigan off of FaZe? You either go to them or in IGL, you make an IGL out of nowhere.
Spinx will get there. Took an extra second, but he kills Kerrigan. Rain, good trade frag back from Doorway. Torsi waiting middle. Misses his chance to strike down Elige. We have seen some gnarly individual level coming out of Elige in these sorts of fights. These dirty little headshot taps from a distance. You got to be careful when Elige is out there. And that caution from Torsi is coupled with opening up the smoke. Perfect bit of team play, and you catch Elige on the climb up.
Timings like that are everything. Look at the lay of the map now, 3-on-4. Oh, 3v3.
Oh, Rain so close. Brolin walks away here with 3 points of health, and Frozen looking to trade back. Can Frozen give enough cover for Brokey to plant bomb? Looks so, but there is a push-up speedway, so expect Brokey to die on sight. No, he gets his gun back out in time. And Brolin isn't able to jump on him right away. So we've got Brokey in an early clutch attempt, and you know this is when he can thrive.
Oh, he's moving back.
Torsi, read like a book. Wow. Brokey goes clutch, and we've got a little taste of FaZe early on.
That's called going for Brokey right there. Beautiful clutch with the AK as well. Rain looks like he's moving tonight, actually, loving the aim so far. And that's a round that is beautiful in the beginning for MOUZ, especially when Torsi gets that smoke break in the op kill inside of middle. But once it's a 2v3 with only this delayed cave flank and that short smoke still up, Brokey uses his limited options so carefully and so perfectly. That's why you want him alive late.
But fast into the action, as you'd anticipate from a guy like Xerxin, loses his support out middle. Another attempt to push out from cave. Okay, this game's starting to get electric pretty quickly.
They want mid. It looked like MOUZ were about to win it. Kerrigan expands through. He's done this so many times, actually, in their last few Ancient games. The space gets found. Now, there is Torsi who could ruin everything, and he'll...
Saw that.
A little exchange glances. Oh, but that's Frozen risking the bomb with that peek.
Total disengage. I love this deep play from Kerrigan.
Torzi's wondering. I think you actually know that Kerrigan makes this play. So yeah, that's nice out of Torzi.
Able to recover. Torzi is 11-4, 6 rounds into this game. You felt it coming in the pistol. Can he finish off this denial, or does Brokey go back-to-back clutches? Sees the shadow. Oh, you gave him all he needed to strike you down, and it's a long road for Spinx.
Yeah, don't make it another 1v2. Now, Brokey has to be worried about them, the other player coming in from anywhere. So they could have been playing together. Brokey really sniffs this out, sees no push. He could make his way over to the other side of the map, and that's the open route. Spinx is in a very interesting position because if he even senses that this could go back to B, he'll actually be here in time.
Oh, great read.
Shining moment here from Spinx.
Great read from Spinx. Doubles back. Look how much Brokey has just thrown caution to the wind, and Spinx is going to scoop it up. Oh, great job by Spinx to play both options.
Yeah, it gave him a lot of space and could have started to walk his way over to A, thinking for sure this be a plant, but no. Round comes back to him.
Oh, that one could have been a calamity for MOUZ, though, when we get all those mid players dying at the start of the round.
Yeah, definitely.
FaZe certainly had an advantage in that round once upon a time, and if Torzi doesn't catch that bomb and then fall back and read Kerrigan, I mean, there's multiple instances there of good reads from the MOUZ players. Torzi to Kerrigan, Spinx in the 1v1.
Yep.
It's a fun little situation we have with obviously a new piece on FaZe and a new piece on MOUZ. So these are two members on opposite teams that don't know about the grudge match that is FaZe versus MOUZ, right? But the other 8, so much head-to-head action, actually.
Spinx has his own grudge versus FaZe because on Vitality, they won all the good games, and FaZe beat them in playoffs at both majors.
You see that teabag?
Yeah.
3 reps?
I'm just desensitized.
Okay.
You should see the things I see on the internet.
I've seen the algorithm. Scout in hand for Brokey. Oh, okay, Elish. All right.
He doesn't even let you finish your sentence. He just goes in.
In and on it. But Torzi, good chance. Gets tagged up by the scout.
Oh, that's awkward for Torzi now.
You know, economic, though, situation. Would have been a kill otherwise. Oh, man. Not ideal, but Frozen makes the best of a bad situation. Locked into the gunfight.
Okay.
Cave player burns
himself.
And Kerrigan gets his revenge on Torzi. Now Xerxin back here on long. Rain isolated in sight, decides to go for the run. They know that Xerxin's over here. Kerrigan's just tucked behind box. I love that Kerrigan's gone silent.
Xerxin just thinks he must have gone back to CT. Kerrigan feels trapped. I mean, he doesn't want to get pushed, so I assume he'll peek eventually, but as long as he doesn't, well, he can read the rotation point. So Kerrigan now knows Xerxin's going to mid.
Clutch.
Kerrigan, he's got an op.
And he's going to join up in Temple with Rain. I guess, you know, still worried about the approach.
Ooh, that smoke could cause problems.
Definitely, especially with a kit here for Xerxin. He's trying to find it, though. Takes him an extra second. Gets blind up in the process. Easy cleanup, and it's not even Rain. Kerrigan hones in on him. So both players from FaZe where they need to be. And great recovery offered up by Elige, man. Instant headshot into the B site. Not the first one we've seen. It won't be the last.
Yeah, they're using him as a new weapon in his, specialty. This is the Liquid 2019 formula with Elige, man. He was a crazy opener, and he could run through the chaos. So it's been a great game from so many perspectives. So many great late mid-round situations, individual moments. Hosey's 4K, Jimpad's 3K, 1v2 from Brokey already.
And that's why I said before the series started, dude, this head-to-head, it's a treat when we get to cast it, and I'm glad that it's living up to the quality it had set last year. Ooh, Brolin, nice 5-7 kill. Catches Rain off with the right side peek. Xerxin taking a look for a climb up, but again, it is pistols for MOUZ. So one frag and they walk away to try to bolster numbers elsewhere.
Rotation's going the wrong way. Brolin said, "Let me handle it."
Roland looking to hold back two. If he can keep cave control, that's massive. One more for him, and the trade's efficient from Elige. Now, you've already got a long challenge from Xerxin. Currently ahead of the utility. Spinx hits a deagle shot, and then a bit of spam from the Deeg goes astray. Man advantage nonetheless. Kerrigan had to go back, scooped up bomb, and Elige is going to keep on presenting better chances. Jimfat, though, will find that AK. Big threat in the back line now. And Elige wary of it just in time. Jimmy goes for the peek. Elige a little off the mark. And so Kerrigan's going to have to come up clutch, but he's got 12 bullets in that magazine right now. It's going to have to be clean shots.
He's open to long, but this is the right move.
He's right between the two. Oh, they line up.
Oh!
The Jimpat headshot around the edge. And it is pistols from MOUZ to keep FaZe on their toes. 6-2.
That was the right risk from Kerrigan. A nice try. But now MOUZ have got two closers. Jimmy and Spinx. Oh, what a shot.
I like this round because for a moment, we had the stack heading in the wrong direction, and that could be a result of a poor call. But then you get all of these beautiful 5-7 and deagle headshots, and that is a result of firepower. MOUZ firepower upgrade. That's what Pimp kind of hammered home in the pregame, and that round a reminder of it. So the cash flow still stunned. We've got a lighter buy for FaZe, but still most players with lethal weapons. Swept away are the first two kills. Easy does it on lane, and that's going to force FaZe's hand into a more desperate A commitment. Now, Jimmy just sitting back sight. And he waits, and he waits. And Xerxin takes all the attention just so that Jimmy can slow burn this peak, as slow as need be. Oh, he kind of drops the ball, but it's all good, because Xerxin from behind the sight boxes just relaxes for a second. Frag grenade on his head, so be it. It's a 5-round lead.
Yeah, there are some close rounds of this half so far, but MOUZ icing out all the important situations, and that one's the cleanest so far. We've got a situation where FaZe, they spent everything they had last round, so we're probably going to just be on a half buy, see if they can recover this half at all. Otherwise, it's a pretty one-sided game. There's nobody lacking right now on MOUZ.
$1,300 damage for Torzi coming into round 10. Has been a part of basically every critical moment. Setting up the clutches with ease. Actually takes me a little off guard to see Elige only on 5 kills, considering he's had those very critical B-site entries.
Yeah, 2 great entries.
See if he can add some more. As we get into the final rounds of the first half, Jimmy sets himself up with a flashbang, and he's got that helping hand of Xerxin from Red Room. Brolin looks like he wants in on the action. He's thinking about it over towards Cave, but it's actually Elige. Again, right? Critical entry. From a Tech 9 to the AK, but nobody right there behind him. Instead, FaZe going to play their options towards B-site, and by waiting, Brolin has disengaged for now.
HP not incredibly high here for Elige, even though he's got this gun. And MOUZ are now just thinking about the re-aggression in the mid, and they catch Elige on the exact timing.
Yep.
Not the first time that's happened.
Torzi getting his number in middle. Rolling ahead of the utility. They can lean it back. You've still got that incendiary for Torzi, and he's nearby. We'll see if that interrupts bomb. If it... Oh!
What?
I was going to say gets a chance to cross, but Brokey hits the Deeg shot. However, no cover. His bomb's still planted, but it causes this frantic moment where suddenly 2Ts peek in to try to save Brokey, maybe. Spinx finds great timing. Easy cleanup for him with the triple spray down.
That was a bit awkward. They had short smoked. They were planning on the side of default, completely exposed to long, but they were not covering that at all.
That's nice.
Whew.
Not the best run boost I've ever seen, but to hell with it.
Hey, he does
it
the
works.
job.
And then Rain is going to find the climb up here from Xerxin. Elise trying to flash him way through, and it does the job. Jimmy gets caught bottom middle. Man advantage over to FaZe. Haven't had these all the time. Gotta make the most of it as the wallbang fight continues. But Rain wrote this book, Brolin. Oh, doesn't mean you can't refine it.
Or read it.
One of the last bullets
He just took his teacher to school.
to the brain. Brokey awaits something down ramp, but goes for that second grenade, and that's the one that costs him. Brolin pouncing on the moment. Man advantage has been taken away from FaZe as a comfortable 3v2 here for MOUZ in round 11. Bomb's got to be picked up. This will slow down everything, but it's fine. We've got time at 50 seconds.
Important that you point that out, because where the bomb was spotted means they've got to wait in order to influence some rotations. CTs won't second guess themselves. Doubled up still here on B. They have Donut as well. It's a great spot for a solo player on A.
Dink.
They want to speed up through Cave, but Torzi's on this line.
Yes, sir. Smooth sailing here for MOUZ. Cleanup duty for Torzi this time. And this is FaZe getting a little desperate. 3 rounds, T-side, best case scenario.
Yeah.
Feels like this game started like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, super fast rounds. Really fun. Again, a lot of late round situations, but as the game has progressed, MOUZ have gotten only better and better. And I love the move that Brolin has been making individually from Cave too long. Pushing, finding pickoffs, taking out Rain on the outside of Cave. That's a harder fight to win.
Obviously, this Cave position, one that Shuhei played frequently. Brolin taking it over as he hangs on to the IGL reins at the same time. And this is a great example of what he can do from the spot. But we're going to go real quick into an A hit here for FaZe. Why get it complicated now? Straight into the fight, pelted by some utility on the approach. They lose one in the process. We've got this late lurk coming out middle from Frozen in a moment. We're waiting for the challenge on the bomb plant too. Frozen letting a teammate die here as Torji goes in, but it's worth it. Clears out Donut on his own. Challenge out from Xerxin to try to catch them off guard with the bomb down in front of the Donut. Spinx in an attempt to keep that threat up falls. 3 rounds are found here by FaZe. It's one for the road before their defense starts.
Yeah, at least they got that one. It at least keeps this game a possibility here for FaZe. But a madly successful half out of MOUZ with this new lineup. Spinx looks like he slotted in nicely. There were no moments of awkwardness. In fact,
at all.
All the late round situations looked just as good as they always have for MOUZ. They are operating quite well. And yeah, Brolin is not the guy you'd expect from the outside to have taken over IGLing, and has even mentioned that I'm sure the ideas are there, but even for himself as an IGL emotionally, he knows he has to change the way that he communicates and, you know, match the style of an IGL emotionally as well. But whatever they're doing so far, seems like they should just keep going.
It's a roster move that's also just, you know, to add a little bit more fuel to the fire. One where it was rumored previously, before Shuhei got cut, that it was actually going to be Brolin to be replaced by Spinx. You know, so that one formulaically maybe would have made more sense. But for him to step up into the role, you know, the chips fall where the chips fall at the end of the day.
Jimmy was also got some offers.
Yeah, it kind of felt like with
Jimmy for Spinx makes more sense, but
yeah, with Jimmy not going to Falcons, who maybe needed to secure Monacy, for him to go there, then he comes back to Mount. Who knows? It was a wild time at the very end of the offseason. I mean, like day before the event to kick off the season. Just the most shocking roster move of the season. But all's good if you can smoke FaZe. You know, cheeky little 13-3 to start the day. Big if. Torji 19-9. Love to see that.
Yeah, again, 40 and 18 in his last series.
Absolutely.
He's already on par.
Superstar level that he is tapping into at the moment.
I had him very high up last year on my list. That's higher than anyone else.
Did. Good for you. You know, Torzy was somebody that back previously when their struggles were happening, like there was a period of the Shuhei Torzy MOUZ where everybody wanted Torzy's head.
Yeah. Yeah, he was too inconsistent. That was fair criticism.
Yep.
But the last year, he's really changed that a lot.
You love to see it. Big rotation around into the A site instead. Frozen and Kerrigan going to keep this clean as need be. Woo! Damn!
Right.
Frozen's got a chance to kick it up a notch. Goes from 6 frags to 9 here in the pistol.
And Frozen's someone for me who last year I liked him less than the year before that. And I think when Rops joined the team, it was always awkward with those two. We didn't get the best out of him, but yesterday we saw some of the best CS that I've ever seen Frozen play. He was insanely quality from the mechanics and headshots to the utility, the positioning, everything. So put him in the superstar class for FaZe for sure. See if it could be 2 days in a row.
And I think that's an uptick from Frozen you can come to expect if he ends up getting more of the positions from Rops, because I think that's one where, you know, we've had this dialogue.
Yeah, he got most of his positions.
Right.
It's mostly Rain and Kerrigan that have appeared to have moved the most for a Liege. But things are still changing every day for FaZe.
As they should be. Was a roster move that was going to cause a shakeup in the roles.
Yeah, this is one of the maps where... Oh, so is Kerrigan playing Cave? Because I think Kerrigan was playing A the last few games, and it wasn't looking great. It was one of the spots that I definitely hated, actually. So if he's playing Cave now, I feel like that makes way more sense. Way more information. I guess it was just awkward because, well, Rain can also play there, so...
Yeah, I mean, Rain, one of the fundamental Cave players on
The question
Ancient.
is, who's going to fill A? They kept trying to figure that out. So maybe it'll be a Liege.
For now, that's the case. Playing the signpost in anticipation of the A hit, which is most certainly about to come swinging out with not even a flashbang, but he drops down the moment he sees it. Ooh, ace? No. Brokey's gonna nab that last one. Still, beautiful mow down from the magazine of Alicia's MP9. That is a lot of money made. You know what? I actually like the way he does that, where signpost is such a great spot to see the commitment, but he had no interest in actually trying to, you know, peel a player off the back of that pack.
You can't fall off and get to donut if you see them. So you have to either decide if you're going to fight or not. So holding it with a molly out even wouldn't have been good enough. As you saw, his teammate threw it. So it was like perfect in terms of the time.
Just plants his feet.
We see so many people make that mistake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not a
All right,
Liege.
the T-side test here for MOUZ.
Spinx sees this as an invite. He's between the smokes. Oh, he gets into the deeper of the two. They cross paths.
Wait, but he made noise.
Emo's running around this. The flash comes over top. Spinx isn't unable to unravel both.
That's a crazy, you don't see Spinx makes moves like that ever.
Challenge up from the jump up, and that's where Frozen's gonna get the edge back for FaZe Clan.
If they go sit on the bomb, you can have this lurk in place, but it won't do much. Let's see if Jimmy can make haste and create a timing for himself. But for now, it looks like the CTs are watching all the right positions.
A little haste, you say? He's fast to
Oh,
the action.
he got by Brokey.
Yep, and that's going to catch a Liege entirely unprepared. Oh, Xerxin. 5 bullets or so into that one. Frozen gets clipped, and we go even 2v2 at 40 seconds. Do they still prefer to play on top of bomb?
I feel like they should, because playing out here is still really strong. And until you get down to like 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds, you can't guarantee they take it, go A, excuse me. That's a fresh smoke.
They're
going to have to start shooting through this, honestly. Yeah.
As that smoke goes down, but Rain
doesn't care.
He's fine to hold his ground for the time being.
And now he goes cave.
Perfect.
There's just no time.
Ooh, a couple smoke grenades really fizzled out the fire there for MOUZ. They've got to concede this one.
They got kind of lucky there on the timing. Even if Brokey doesn't win his duel, he was spotting from long, and there was 1 second gap every other second for him to get by into window. So that's a crazy round out of MOUZ. They just sent Spinx in as the entry to run through a smoke. And when he didn't see anything, he just full committed through. And then he still got a kill at least, but there was nothing behind that at all.
It's not a version of Spinx I think I've seen very often.
He said on Vitality, they kept making me lurk. I never wanted to lurk. I always wanted to entry.
Get the hell out of my way. But he did go stomping in. They knew damn well what he was up to.
All of mid belongs to the CTs. No A-side lurk. Mixed by here for MOUZ. But until you get that extra rotation to B, it's still 2 people on the site. Brokey starts to move over.
Both Rain and Kerrigan. I like this POV. You just see both CTs in front of them, jiggling with their smokes out.
Yeah, a couple of jiggling Jerrys over here.
Big jiggle Johnnies.
That just sounds disgusting. And that smoke's pretty oppressive because they're like, all right, well, we were about to set something up. Oh,
Careful though, that's
draws the bait. Yeah,
perfect distraction. Xerxin with the AK. Only one of 2 AKs on the field. Double entry. Rain and Kerrigan hit the ground. Brokey's rotation was already here earlier. Xerxin's going to continue to keep that threat up, and they basically sweep away everyone. Frozen dead. And Brokey, if he's lucky, will get away, but that's not the case. Xerxin goes over top of the boxes. The pesky Tech 9 smoke spam, Mohan.
Rain will feel a little bit silly about that one. He fell for a very, very lightweight bait. These Tech 9 shots through the smoke. That's the hype. So for whatever reason, this is a side of the map that nothing has to change in terms of Rain playing. If he could play Cave if they wanted to, but it seems like philosophically they're changing the team a little bit more too, because Kerrigan has mentioned wanting to use Rain as an anchor. He sees him as an anchor. So even if it's not anchoring the A site to fill where Rops is playing, it could be anchoring on the other side of the map instead of playing the info spots. But Rain so far in some of his new positions, because he's definitely a guy that, like, when we saw him first play Cave, he just kind of played Cave. And then over a year, he came up with like 9 spams, a bunch of timings, very good on the pressure, but it took some time for him to map out his protocols for himself. And that's not the first time we've actually got him caught on banana on a push.
Kerrigan locked in on his own here. Brolin missed his smoke on the Molotov on the approach. Oh, baby. Kerrigan almost getting away with the second one. Started shooting over Brolin.
Looks like the gun just started shooting itself.
Itchy trigger finger, but Elige, he's going to get what looks like the same reward. Yeah, back's turned. And, well, that's the difference between Kerrigan and Elige.
Yeah, assassinated.
Excellent second frag from him. Jimmy didn't stand a damn chance. And, well, in round 17, FaZe just go ahead and pull the wool over MOUZ's eyes.
We'll see. MOUZ have been a late round threat in a lot of these moments, so watch for those headshots.
It's that low health Spinx made possible by Kerrigan. Once more, 0 map control, but 40 seconds to still play out. We'll see if somebody oversteps into Torji. Again, he's been playing lights out, but second half has been muted.
I thought he had some sick smokes set up for CT spawn. I was ready to watch that.
This position doesn't really have a name.
Corner. Call it Shaq.
Shrek.
Oh. Well, you know the Shaq meme where he's hiding behind a tree?
Oh, yeah, I do. But also it's quite swampy.
That's true. Donkey.
Get out of my swamp, donkey. Not that I'm calling Spinx a donkey, excuse me. But it is indeed swamp from here on out. And it's a great place to save. Rifle kept. Why did they check their corners, Mohan?
Because there's two.
They didn't check either one. FaZe get away with, well, a bit of a freebie on that one. For all the electric gameplay we've had in this head-to-head, 2 unchecked corners, kind of boring. Not even a gun duel. Good on a leash to keep it clean in middle. Kerrigan pressured back out of the front room of Cave. And Elige awaits top mid. Now vision regained, but does he want to try to tether with the donut players? Because they're still smoked off for the time being, and that's why Xertion's crossed over. Rain offered up like that, just like a nanosecond of a distraction. That crosshair movement in Xertion, and then Elige comes out. That's a bit awkward for Xertion. But FaZe will lap it up. Man advantage to try to go 8 rounds to the 10 of MOUZ.
This is the awkward site.
Brolin hasn't wasted a moment here, already emerging from the cave. He's got a back turn to him on sight. Puts a bullet to the back of Kerrigan. Rain empty-handed. Elige is going to rotate in, but he's been already smoked off. And so once more, MOUZ will find their teeth sunk deep into B. Awkward, as you called it.
But with 3 players playing in cave, they're going to expand to banana. I guess they'll have lots of time to do that. Brolin's low, no impact grenades here. We're coming at this with no smokes.
Couple flashbangs for Brolin to try to get his pieces in, try to disrupt this retake, but you've already got Elige on top of the bomb in a moment.
Now it gets awkward for the T's.
Good shot for Brokey, then he goes for the defuse. Excellent coverage here from Elige. The spray's off the mark, and Frozen's gonna find one as well. All 3 members of FaZe put a kill forth in a 3v3 retake that looks way too simple for the FaZe clan.
They gave away some of their active positions. I guess they didn't want to face long and get around to banana. And they did it with time, so fair enough. But they did allow FaZe to try to fight the cave a little earlier, I think, than they'd like. So it makes it a 2-round game. The way MOUZ got to 10 was the Exertion 2K entry onto the B site on a light buy. But other than that, it hasn't been too much here on T side. So looking to win a full rifle. I think you called this game a 13-3, Connor.
What?
So wouldn't that be nice to start the 8th race? Nice 13-3.
I didn't say that at all. You're a madman.
It's all recorded.
I'm being gaslit. Don't shrug at me.
You said it, 13-3.
I never said such a thing. That's wild. I don't know if you believe that I said that.
We've got the
what
clip.
Do you want? I didn't
I just
say
can't get it right now.
No way, I didn't say that. No way.
Someone's going to find it and tweet it at you.
You're crazy. I never said that today. I thought this game was going to be close the whole time.
No, at the end of the half. At the end of the half.
No. Did I?
I would never say something like that.
The audacity. I think I said 9-3, because that's the score at the half.
I know you think you do. We got video proof.
Oh, no. Well, if I did, I'm glad I'm wrong. Maybe. Right now, we've got a game on our hands, and it's fun to watch MOUZ kind of wiggle around here, struggle a bit to figure out the solution on the T side. They've had their moments, and this time they've got Donut very early on, so something different here in the 19th round of play. Beautiful flashbang.
Oh, doesn't get much better than that.
Brolin blind as a bat. And I like that Frozen sticks around here. Yeah, it's going to catch Spinx deep inside A main. Now suddenly these donut players feel stranded. Brokey's got a gun barrel on screen, so that's him on high alert. Woo, and the bomb's been dropped back towards middle, so not ideal here for what's left of MOUZ.
He knows they both turned back.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, what else can they really do? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Do we go back? Do we go in? Do we go out?
Let's try next round. Swept away by the Opper, sitting comfortably on site.
Well, looks like FaZe have a CT side as well, MOUZ. But some of these rounds are looking a little less close.
Singular bomb plant throughout these 6 rounds that FaZe Clan have won on the defense. And Torzy, who looked like a bona fide superstar in the first half of play, has, well, returned to the realm of the mortals. Second peek.
Yep.
And that's that, huh? So here we go, back in with a half buy. Back in with Spinx being equipped with the single rifle.
These would be the moments that criticism comes in for not having a caller of the same quality as like a Kerrigan or an Apex or something else. The simplistic calls sometimes aren't enough.
Kerrigan double, Rain gets 1. There's been a kind of weak point on this site with Rain sometimes not getting his holds going, but this time will hang on to Cave.
These great IGLs, man, they're systems thinkers. And their ideas keep expanding as the game goes on. They never get tunnel visioned when there's the most amount of data possible. That's what makes them so special. Even like casting, like I'm consistently amazed, you know, like how Kerrigan can put together so much,
It's a weird
systematize so much information with such little info, and also organize so many people behind it.
That's why our desk said that, you know, having a great in-game leader on that level is what makes you go from a top 5 team to the best team in the world.
Yes.
It's that fine-tuning that can only be done by some of the greatest minds of Counter-Strike, even if their hands aren't as skilled as some others. Jim Fat goes for the swing. He's got 2 positions figured out. You'd be a fool to think he couldn't clutch this. Op shot comes through, no additional damage done, but I believe the gun is empty, so he's on the Deeg, and Brokey's not going to let him have anything else in this one. FaZe have officially tied this game with 7 out of 8 rounds played on the defense.
They got the answers right now. This round, obviously, MOUZ don't come in with a ton, but money-wise, yeah, it looks like we've got the investment now. So, yeah, one round they've won is that B rush, the exertion, 2K entries.
Rain making sure not to fall on site with no frags to his name, as well as Strong. Got that additional cave pickup. Game on. Fast fight down into elbow. Frozen flushes him out temporarily. Brolin, has managed to get up into the cave. Alish saw that.
Spotted, yeah.
100% Alish sees it. He's going to be worried about it, trying to still capitalize, and Brolin never turning back around. Then we get that hold at the top of ramp.
Through the smoke again.
That's a wild one for Spinx. Not his bread and butter, doesn't pull it off.
Also, what's the idea right there? Like, Brolin's in cave, Spinx goes through the smoke, bomb hasn't even crossed the doorway, and 2 players are over at A. It's not time to execute, MOUZ.
You know, I always kind of like to see it as like an orchestra, where the guy holding the little stick, your maestro, isn't necessarily the most talented person in the room.
Yeah, but I think the guy with the tuba doesn't have the sheet paper.
Exactly, right? So, is Spinx the guy with the tuba in this round, just running through smokes?
I think Brolin said, hold this tuba.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to fiddle around with some flutes. And now MOUZ left with just a triangle. Wow, they look like squares. FaZe Clan take a lead.
Brolin's now Hector Salamanca on that bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Cripple Jimmy.
Waiting for the clock to expire. FaZe in the lead. Oof.
As a Shuhei propagandist, I'm going to say right now, Shuhei doesn't make that call.
Just gonna say, you know, if only they had a
That's the other thing, man. You can't say it's not like a Hooksy upgrade or something. Like Shuhei could
sure.
still shoot.
Yeah, sure.
He wasn't obviously wasn't top performer, but
Yeah, we talk about Shuhei like a
one of the
kick
better IGLs. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah. You'd be lucky to get a guy that frags that level and can call.
Yeah. And whoever gets him will be lucky too.
Indeed.
But
Congratulations.
enough about enough about Liquid. Back to MOUZ. MOUZ announced minus JKS plus Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, we finally get a blitz in NA.
Yeah, right. All right, gentlemen, off of the tack pause now. Now, this is something they still at least have Cyclone. I'll give them that. They still at least have Cyclone.
Yeah.
It's not a part of the conversation that we've had so far, but one that I think is still worth its value. Cyclone has had a chance to speak. What changes? As FaZe are on the brink of securing that overtime, it is Spinx instead to hold the jump up, and Liege offers first blood to the favor of MOUZ.
Frozen.
Gonna peel him back. Yeah, Frozen leaves because Alicia's dead. Doesn't want to be the second casualty out there on middle.
He also didn't want to leave mid entirely because they play these spots. A lot comes down to the B hold, and, well, that's been pretty 50-50.
Kerrigan not able to snap it over to Torji. He'll finish off what Alicia started by killing Spinx, but it's man advantage maintained.
FaZe will have to do something special here, and it looks like it'll be a lean, but they have to give up a part of the map right now.
Haven't yet. Still keeping it 1-1-1. If anything, it's a weak middle.
Yeah, it's interesting because it actually appears to be correct. We don't have MOUZ moving at all. They are still waiting for something to happen. Map is dead silent as they creep in the middle.
Down to 35 seconds. Here's the Brolin walk up on ramp. And that's a headshot from Rain that certainly helps out.
Lurking by himself as they go up into A.
It's the A commitment. We've got Brokey sitting inside a position he loves. Utility comes flying at him. Good amount of damage offered here by Frozen, just contesting through that CT smoke. We've got 3 Ts on site, and Torji now with bomb down, hands back on the AK. We're gonna get Xertion pressing into Brokey towards Temple while this Rain mid-fight unfolds against Jimmy. 2 separate duels, but it's actually Brokey to peel all the way back. So now they're gonna go, what, CT lane?
Well, they have smokes.
Oh, and Torji peeks in. Xertion stuck up against this wall, blinded, but still able to recover vision, wins his duel, and Rain will trade that back. Jimmy had seen a player back on middle, takes the head off Rain. Clean shot. And as Brokey taps bomb to elicit the reaction, he gets what he wants.
Okay.
Jimmy peaks, 2K for him, and a 1v1's what gives MOUZ their second terrorist round win.
Yeah, 1v2 in fact. Really nice there, Jimmy. That's a clutch from Donut, and he got away from Rain 2, who came in on the flank. So they got their opener, was it inside of middle, and kept the man advantage throughout the rest of the round.
Right here.
Yeah, the weird moment is Brolin lurking up into B, getting caught, and then kind of letting him know, all right, well, it's not me in this spot. So we're gonna get max rounds. And that was an important milestone. It's MOUZ's second round this half, and it's their first time winning on a full rifle buy.
Off the tack pause.
Off the tack pause. Off the tack pause.
With a very different tempo. One of the slowest rounds we've seen yet in this map. Almost too slow at one point. I thought that mid-burn from MOUZ could have cost them.
Yeah. I mean, the 3 times they've lurked in a B, the 2 with Spinx, 1 with Brolin, those haven't looked too pretty. But here's a good start, again, to the round for MOUZ. They win mid-control. They have Cave at the exact same time. And Jimmy's running away from A main. Everything at this point in the round is fully intentional.
Kerrigan's so locked in on this position.
What is happening here?
Oh, man.
That doesn't help Kerrigan, though, does it?
I don't think that's what that was supposed to do.
Oh, should be. Sorry, Brolin said, "Come over here, guys. I've got a lead."
Kerrigan's going to be exposed. Oh, my
No, but they're not going to clear him, right?
Of course not.
Yeah,
But, I mean, if the smoke fades, he's just going to be exposed to him.
that's true.
He gets one. Rain trades back in sight. We've got a lot of bodies here.
Oh.
Rain, critical. 3 frags in the cave, and he will even ice out the last.
Oh, wow. That's a round where Brolin has the one lead where he gets up in a cave and they have lots of map control to work with. So much of this comes down to a great spray from Rain, but for whatever reason, Connor, they did know that someone was on the other side of that box. Otherwise, Rain wouldn't be sitting here staring at cave when he re-smoked it last and Kerrigan wouldn't be watching above him. So whatever idea that MOUZ had, they kind of understood it. And somehow in this match that started 9-3, FaZe get 12 first.
God damn. Off the biggest round we've seen from Rain yet. Now to the top of the charts off that multi-frag. Kerrigan, whoa, dangerous. As he opens up smoke with many bodies outside of it. No mid control this time around. For FaZe, that is. We get this moving piece and a leash to come back towards Red Room, contending with the red smoke. And it looks like FaZe are ready to just let middle go this time around. At least up until the Red Room. Jimmy versus Frozen. Frozen's got the better weapon, and Jimmy does 50 damage, but that's it. Kerrigan, gotta be careful. Gives a little shoulder into the cave, takes a bit of damage for it. Xertion eyeing up Red Room, but
coming in with a position of power. He's still 5 alive on the CT side. They've got double lies on mid. They're holding on to cave control with their smoke as well.
Frozen was already deep in A main, so Brokey can, I think, confidently play big box.
They have to earn back the space, but instead they're just going to walk into this. There's only one in Donut, however, so...
This angle from Frozen, gonna catch them off guard, worth it. But now Brokey missing his one chance at an easy shot. Triple kill back across the board from MOUZ. It's a recovery in the 24th of play. And as Spinx gets bomb onto the site, jumbling into his teammates, they know that Donut's a threat, and sure enough, Kerrigan coming in, but he'll find a back turn, and he doesn't whiff those shots.
And they cancel the
Spinx didn't plant. He comes off of it, Kerrigan gets him off a second time, and we're gonna get a slow play out of Brokey, but it's worth it. Passive back on the line, a hell of a recovery from FaZe Clan. It's the T side of MOUZ that betrays them.
Wow, just all the way to the very end, down to the wire, some might even say, if we're looking at this series. But I wouldn't say it too much in excess because both sides of this coin look like...
But I mean, the same could be said definitely for Ancients with MOUZ. They're one of the best Ancient teams, or at least really comfortable on it. But that being said, so are FaZe. So this map is interesting because MOUZ have actually struggled recently on it. You know, Brolin and IGL or not. And their wins and losses have been close, but they've got a few. We're talking about FaZe, who tried to play this versus Big and got beat, and that was a very impressive map by Big. But with this new lineup, we have lots to be seen about how good they're going to fare over some time. So this will be one of the few maps left for FaZe in their map pool that are, you know, that haven't been workshopped as much or stress tested in officials.
Stress definitely running at a high after fumbling it back on Ancient, I tell ya. We'll see if MOUZ can shake that off. It's been a struggle of the T sides for both teams. Has to be noted as well. You know, the way that map ends up kind of lets us forget about FaZe being unable to open up rounds themselves. But Elige will waste no time as the Brolin peek out of Underpass gets clipped. Rain thinking about it, but he'll know better. 5v4 here for FaZe, and Brokey's going to extend.
That was actually very nice. Again, you're always trying to twist it up. Oh, okay. Jimmy thought he was onto something. But no one seems to be by themselves besides Elige here in Underpass.
And they'll finally get one. The one solo moment of the round. And if Torseed cranks this dial and kills Rain, well, that could have been the open A site, perhaps, for Spinx. Instead, Rain snaps up. Torseed gets plucked from the sky. You got a Glock, not an MP9, buddy.
Yeah, the jump. There was no op on the angle. Spinx is the guy who will be in Underpass. I think one of the interesting things about this new lineup on Mirage will be Spinx and Xertion, who will be both mostly responsible for middle. Xertion getting into connector, Spinx getting out of Underpass, assuming all things stay the same for him. I think it's one of the spots where Spinx has improved the most.
Careful now.
Over his time on Vitality. Yeah, they can't let him play.
Careful. Smoke's down, so you'd think you could just plant in it, but don't worry, everybody. Rain's got you.
It's good damage. Made some money. But yeah, this also means that MOUZ, just as much as people don't have as much data on them, they don't have that much data on FaZe. And like things change a lot for FaZe. Playing against Elige will be a new challenge. And I mean, if you start out playing with a new lineup and you're too passive, I feel like it can be hard to become more aggressive over time. But the opposite definitely can happen. So if Elige takes too many risks right now, that might actually be a good thing if he winds it back a little bit later, like it finds out that it doesn't work. But he seems to be doing what's comfortable for him in that sense.
Yep.
Like he's going out there. They have a lot of late round pieces. It actually feels like when he's alive later into the round, that's when those plays become a little bit more unwarranted.
Right.
So if they're going to be opening attempts and his aim is as good as it is, that might be a boon to FaZe. You can find a way to channel it.
No, it definitely feels like Kerrigan is working on making him feel comfortable out of the gate. And that I support. Alicia's shown us reasons why he may thrive in this system. And we're still talking early days, Mo. It's only the second month of 2025.
And it's only the second round of Mirage.
Wow. Still so much to do. It's only the third best of 3 of our A stream today. Little challenge through the smoke. Cat doesn't come for free, gentlemen. FAMAS crossfire with a kill from each side, and another FAMAS from inside sight set up by the flash. Nice deagle shot from Spinx, has to be said, but he's got to go scoop that bomb up, and that just lets Rain shoot you in the back.
It's quite a jog.
If not for Rain, then, you know, things get a little weird with Brokey low HP, but it's a FaZe Clan conversion, although...
If not for Rain, we never have FaZe in the first place, Connor. We can go crank all the way to
That's
20,
true.
what, 16?
2016, when they were Kingwin
Kingwin.
originally.
Yeah, and Rain was the best player.
Yeah.
Rain,
I have a Rain Kingwin sticker on my Galil Chatterbox, in fact, from
makes
2016.
sense since you talk a lot.
That's what they pay me to do. They say, keep yapping, bucko. And I said, no, please.
You stop talking, we stop paying.
I want to go home, please, please, please. And by they, I mean it's Launders. Someone help.
Keep talking.
Okay, Brokey. He's got to push down in desertion. Ooh, and he will find the 5v4. It's deagles across the board for the most part. That's all MOUZ bring to the party. And if you're going to bring something to the party, come on. Don't bring a bag of chips. Make some dip, a vegetable platter. Or, you know what? Sour cream and onion look good. Jim Pat, beautiful headshot into the palace. It's on the other side of the map is where the bomb is actually working. And Kerrigan a little nervous now because they got a little rambunctious up in there. They start stomping around, making noise and whatnot, but he will still sit back and allow Elige to carve out some info towards middle. Okay, now you talk.
Calling and being a star player, it's I mean, it's a zero-sum game. Regardless of whatever spots you take, you're always dividing your attention up between the mini-map and your crosshair, and you're playing some kind of balance. Like, Fallen is such an anomaly because he was able to be second best player in the world, Opper and IGL back then. But since that's happened, like, who's done that, you know? So we get some moments on Ancient for Brolin where he's calling the round around his lurks, but there's not much organization happening on the rest of the map while he does that.
Could we say that, like, one of the only few examples beyond that would be, like, Cadian, for example, with Heroic?
Yeah, but he wasn't even the best player on his...
Right.
Or second best player on his team. He was like just outside top 20, so that was still impressive for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that would be the best.
I think it's like, you know, all that time.
Wasn't even
goes
the
on.
best opera on his team, Con.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good example. But yeah, just think about
It's like the one guy you can reach for, you know, after
just think
all
about
that Counter-Strike, he's
Yeah.
he's the one.
Yeah, just it shines a light on how impressive what Fallen did was. Even Device wanted to try to do that.
How'd that go?
He's not calling anymore.
Right. And Cadian's not opping. Funny how that works out. Here we go. Gun round in play. Xerxin already crossing from sight. Boxes. Tucked in and presented nothing. Spinx comes out of that flashbang stupor. Elige actually just burned a lot of HP off.
Yeah, Molly might have saved him, man. He was about to swing so hard.
We'll see if he can make anything with it. We got the ramp smoked off from Ticket.
Yeah.
And Rain comfortably down beneath Palace. Frag grenade to soften up the con guys, and perfect. Brokey sends that in. Elige brings one down. Still on fire, dude. Elige from start to finish. The flames with his name on him, and Brokey doing his job wonderfully. Flashbang from Jimpat got Spinx out, but Brokey is not missing shots at the moment. He is up to 6-2, 4 rounds into the game. And Jimmy on his own with no bomb possession at this point. So that AWPer makes a world of difference as it cuts down the con guys first and turns towards ramp in time.
As soon as that smoke dropped on the ramp, MOUZ knew they were in trouble because if Cat starts putting pressure on, then the connector guys, they can't just sit there. There's too many angles where they can eventually die. So they tried to just get out as soon as they could. But it was pretty clear to FaZe. Brokey did an excellent job of picking his timing. The smoke on ramp allows him to fight connector. The move to triple allows him to fight both. And the support from the grenades means that they keep 3 alive.
Counter-terrorists win. The struggle of the T-side continues here in episode 2 of MOUZ versus FaZe.
Yeah, it was 2 rounds on the Ancient, right?
Yes.
Or did they get 3? It was 13-11.
FaZe got 3. MOUZ got 2. And that's why they lost. Oops. Jimmy's single AK here. And with working with less, why not keep it a little simple? Not that it's really been complex. Set a utility to walk out with the pistols on ramp. That rifle's up in Palace. Again, that single rifle for the T's up in Palace. Drive-by Tech9 denied. Rain keeps it clean as need be. They find the rifle up in Palace. Everybody dropped. Xerxin a little bit late to the party. There's a good amount of damage that ended up coming out. You can see it on Elige and Rain. And Xerxin is like, what the hell is happening here? As Elige just slips out through the market. P2000 to the face. Thank you. I'll take that Tech9, says Johnny Jabs. And FaZe Clan go up 5-0.
FaZe looked pretty good on Mirage. They might have been able to see it come into the veto. And again, we're sort of unearthing their map pool in these last couple of weeks. They've probably been the most interesting team to watch. Them and Vitality, of course.
For sure.
But Vitality are sort of like, okay, we have those answers. They're on the right track. FaZe is more like you're seeing changes every single game they play. But they haven't picked Mirage. If they keep playing like this, maybe it'll start becoming a first pick because they haven't decided on their most solid one just yet.
And we're already starting to see kind of Inferno come back in, right? Because that's where they began with their picks, but then it floated to third maps. We saw them choose it yesterday.
Yeah.
It looked better, right?
Looked
Like you're
better,
saying, you're
yeah.
talking about these improvements that we're seeing day to day. I think Inferno is definitely a highlight of that. And what do you know? It's back in this series if we need a decider.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they won't be able to shake Inferno, so they just need to get good at it.
Yep.
And yeah, yesterday they needed a little luck to pull that game out in the end, but they also did play a lot better than they have.
It's going to take a little bit of time. I think FaZe are afforded that. But I remember that quote once where it's like, you don't put on a FaZe jersey to make playoffs. You put on a FaZe jersey to win trophies.
Yeah.
So high expectations for the newcomer in Elige, who definitely wants more trophies. It's been some time. He won't find any trophies top mid. It is his death instead that marks the even 3v3. Torji gonna catch a very fixated Kerrigan staring at the apartment's entrance.
Cat jump got made.
Torzi's running. It's him versus Brokey, but Torzi's on the angle first. So what does Brokey do about this? We've got the underpass lurk coming up at the same time. Rain, oh, he sees the barrel.
Oh, he can't kill Torzi, though.
Nothing you can do about that except for hope that Torzi stays locked in on that angle now that
Brokey
bomb is
shot on
planted.
purpose, right?
You'd think. Jimpat, he looked back towards Catwalk, but he's not going to catch this. Rain is slipping up underneath. Torzi tapped. Jimmy, though, on the balcony. That's going to catch Rain off guard. And Brokey's dead now. So it's a cleanup from the last two members. MOUZ will find their first round win on Mirage. 6 rounds into this game.
Nice one. They put that together. It's the Kerrigan lurk that they catch off because of Torzi's game sense kicking in, coming back up into the B halls, and they were organizing towards him. I think Kerrigan was assuming that they were going to go A. So nice move there from MOUZ. They finally get on the board.
They do it at a point as well where FaZe Clan haven't been able to run rampant away with money. Can certainly still have a half here.
Fast con split coming in.
Brolin going to charge up catwalk. Leaves the player to walk lower. Frozen jumping around, spotting bodies, figuring it out, but they don't know about Elish. Rain is dead. Sershin not able to turn around fast enough for a second, but so be it. Con player opens up space on the A site. We see that clearly now as MOUZ are already knocking on the bomb site itself. Elish, while blind, checks his teammate's screen. Doesn't know where he's at, but he knows he's still got a job to do, so drops nades to support mid. Brolin creeping into that smoke, reveals his position, finishes off Elish with the last bullet, and now we go back to the even 3v3. Torzi versus Brokey yet again, but Brokey's not going to miss that chance to strike first through the edge of the wall, and that's going to leave Bomb down in the dirt for now. Jimmy would have to jump over. They know that Brolin's still stuck inside of connector for the time being.
They had this molly earlier as well. They didn't use it. And Brolin will eventually go down. Jimpat in a 1-on-2 now.
Back exposed though, right? I mean, dire for Jimmy in this point, having to cross over, finding himself between CTs.
That was the perfect play. So Eli's jumping out of window. If you're coming out of underpass, that spot just becomes terrible because anybody walking up will be able to see your legs and shoot you. But versus specifically a fast con split, you never clear that part of underpass if you didn't see someone jumping out of the window in the first place. So that was just like an out of spawn call for FaZe. That's just the right gamble, essentially. And he might have been thinking about going underpass, but the split just came out so fast it paid off. These are some crazy looking jump spots. Oh my goodness. But he sees a lot.
Elish first blood here, trying to bottom out the MOUZ bank accounts. Poor Brolin snipped off the mid hold.
I mean, they can't really continue, right?
Nah, but what else are you gonna do? Walk away, lick your wounds, and hope to save these rifles. It goes about as you'd expect. Jimmy swinging out top, middle dry. Torzi looking for something with bomb. If he can get the Kerrigan kill, honestly, the bomb plant's right there. If you kill Kerrigan, you plant. Simple as that.
That's true. No one on cat.
Kerrigan, good to catch him off guard with a nasty little off angle. That is 7-1 FaZe Clan. And a tough spot if you're MOUZ, but still money to go around. What'd you just say? Oh, that's your snow impression.
7-1, so.
Okay, a little Brazil.
He's been doing it a lot less, so I've been trying to remind people. It's a great meme.
I love it when Snow starts talking trash.
Yeah.
Can't say I've seen Snow versus Donk, but I would sign up for it.
Man, it's possible they played in the Academy League, actually.
Whoa. Yeah, but Donk didn't have much to yell about back then.
Yeah. You kind of just see that when he gets to LAN. That was sort of like a Nafany moment. He wasn't like yelling that much online, and then they started playing LANs together.
Yeah, no, I don't see any head-to-head. Pain versus Spirit at Flow Fire League 2022.
What was Snow's team, though? It wasn't Fury Academy, right?
That's a great question, Mohan.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, let's... I surrender.
I yield. Uh-oh. A-ramp's clean.
Me.
Spray's good here for Xertion. That's nice. Bomb still staged back up in B.
Kerrigan really wanted a piece of the action there, huh?
They spread out. Yeah, he did. They spread on this full default. I think they would have loved to act on that, knowing that Kerrigan's gone down this early, but it's important that MOUZ don't get overexcited in this moment. They've got a lot of good advantages coming in.
Missed one from Brokey. Brolin's going to try to make up that space.
I wonder if this smells like a fake, though. Oh,
Nice peek out of Liege.
what
Just
a find.
that minute little peek. Is he setting himself up for a second?
That's when you use those window timings when there's connector pressure.
Doesn't actually put his head back out on that platter for the mid guys to kill him. Frozen ready for the swing out.
Oh.
Jimmy's dead. That's a nice one from Frozen. Keeps his head down. And he's got a Liege over here. Dude, a Liege is on the highway to the multi-frag because this guy's running all across the map to get into the action when needed.
So smoke there and connector would allow Exertion to turn into a window lurk. That's what he would do normally. And then they could hit B that way. But it also would keep an option to go A. Problem is, bomb's down. They've lost too many players. And I think they're not even sure that they can save.
Elish going to find a back turn, so that's a triple kill for Elish here in round 9. FaZe looking to keep this one damn near flawless.
This is impressive even for FaZe. And they've had some pretty impressive games.
3 terrorist round wins across 21 rounds of play on the T side for MOUZ. I present that as a fact. Make of it what you will.
Connor's never lied before.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm garbage.
I'm human garbage.
I'm trash. Frozen sure as hell not. Beautiful use of the angle and the smoke, and then I love that Elish just kind of scoops up a kill off the side of it. I'm going to say it, Mo. I like Elish in a FaZe jersey.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You gotta. He really wants to use this angle,
With an AUG?
which is kind of cool. Come on,
Yes.
give him one. Give
I
him
love
one.
that.
Come on, Kerrigan. Oh God. Oh God, they jumped over, but he's got support. Let's see what he can do with it up close. No. About that. And a bomb goes down with it. That is Tech9's on the site, an AK for Xertion, an AUG to be grabbed somewhere.
And
Roland's found it.
Bomb is bomb planet safe here?
Yes, it's on the right side by Market. Brolin. Gets his head popped by Frozen.
Frozen is killing him right now.
Who's going to pick up that AUG next? Anybody going to use it well?
I think it's
No.
cursed.
It goes down again. Frozen making the most of this, trying to hold off as Torji comes through with the Glock frag.
He can't protect the plant, can
It's a
he?
Glock 1v3. Glock 1v3. He's a single kill into it. You'd have to spam through 2 bodies, and he knows that that odd is against him. Beautiful round here from Frozen to keep this near flawless CT half going.
I'm saying the AUG is great, and it should be in that position, but not the best show of it here. Everyone who picked it up got instantly smoked. A lot to do with Frozen, though, in his first bullet headshots.
Clean A4 work.
FaZe playing like they got somewhere to go.
Yeah, playoffs.
True. They're one of the big teams that decided to come to this event, and for that reason, there's VRS points on the line. Lots for MOUZ if they're able to win. Much fewer for FaZe. And we see why,
I think people are, forgetting that this is a $1.25 million event.
It's a massive purse.
PGL's prize pools are unmatched.
Yeah.
Great chance for FaZe to enter playoffs with a statement. And that's, a FaZe Clan that you think powers up in playoffs. Folks, we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
And they are smothering MOUZ at the moment. And we say that MOUZ can't beat FaZe in the important games when they had Shuhei. Well, this is very important for FaZe because it's starting to set a tone as to what sort of a 2025 we can expect from them with this guy in the server, in that jersey, looking good in black and red. And I'm not talking complexity.
Exposed himself totally to mid because he knew exactly what he had just missed. No window lurks this game for MOUZ.
15 frag half for Elish, and it doesn't even look like he's satisfied with it.
This T-side impact has come from Exertion getting into connector. That has netted them just about nothing. And now torzsi dies.
Toast.
10-1.
Look at him. He's beautiful. Neo. Smiles on from behind. Easy day in the office on the CT side so far for FaZe. Again, you know, because
the thing is that their T side was still, even though they was 1 or 2 rounds different, it was still better than MOUZ.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
There were
they
a
had
lot
chances. Yeah.
There were clutches. There were close rounds. So
Oh, it was. I mean, you have to remember how big of a half torzsi had. No wonder FaZe only got 3 on the T side. torzsi was on top of them, like Frozen and Elige are in mid this round, but it's not as easy this time around for the American. Brokey having to peel back from connector as Spinx versus Kerrigan is queued up in apps. Neither player with any assistance, really. And we've seen Kerrigan caught out by players on high alert. Spinx eyes on it. He is going to get the better of the duel.
that's one kind of fight that I would say the older you get, you want to take less. For sure. The raw reaction time duels.
Why does this feel like they could still fumble it?
FaZe are putting it together somewhat. Jimpat, though.
Oh, it's the rain op. It's the rain op.
Oh, the coveted rain op.
Is he? I mean, once a year.
He's not coming in to check jungle, though. He's mollying Palace. They're watching this from the flank, and it's frozen on an op, too.
Once a year, we get a rain op frag. Jimmy just going to peek right into Frozen.
Here it is. Rain's going to come in.
Brokey can't hold it more than just the one.
Oh.
And it's gone. Back to the dirt where it belongs. I mean, difficult move through here, but Jimmy already out through the murder hole, and that's where this one's going to end. So it's a mid-fight that falters for once, right? Elige dying outside of connector opens a door for MOUZ to disengage. They group up inside of the apartments and follow through for a second round on this T side. That is 2 10-2 T halves at MOUZ's disadvantage.
I think this one's going to be a 13-2, Connor.
Did I really say that?
We'll get the clip.
What an idiot I can be. Writing off FaZe like that.
No. I was like, yeah. I said, like, yeah, right after.
Maybe you said 13-2.
Am I the kind of guy who would say that?
No, you've actually only called, I think, 1-13-0. 7 years of working with you, you've called 1-13-0 like 4 rounds into a game once, and you were actually right.
I was right.
And you've never done it since. Never even tried. A man of few words, but wise wisdom. Maybe. Frozen holds the line there. There's a helping hand for Brokey, but not this time. MOUZ is second, 3 survive. We swap over. Very critical pistol round here for MOUZ. It is playoffs on the line in this matchup. The first team to step forward into the Cluj-Napoca Stadium. And I think it'd do a lot of good for FaZe Clan to be able to get that under their belt early on in 25. It's a year of high hopes.
Winner gets to come on the party bus with us.
Okay, sign me up. I'm already on the bus. Will FaZe join us? Saw ya. See ya. There's a quick one for Rain. Will they expect Xertion, though, to also be around top middle?
They don't know if he ran back to A or to B. Oh. Yeah. How many deaths can you afford now, though? 12-4 is Rain.
Do you think Kerrigan's having fun? 3 kills, 7 deaths, but winning 10-2?
Yeah, I think
he's having fun, right?
Yeah. IGLs only care about the score at the top.
Good. Soak it up. Because for a head-to-head that was once upon a time all FaZe all the time, last 2 best-of-3s have been MOUZ over FaZe. And right now, Rain's playing no games. Triple kill from him alone. That's the only T that they saw until 4 of them are standing inside of this B site and you're facing a 2v4. It's just Rain. It felt like for a moment all the FaZe were just waiting in spawn and letting them go out one at a time.
It was a pretty hard commit there from MOUZ to hope that FaZe came back to mid-late. They didn't want to pick a site, and they didn't want to push up. So, well, any little bit of info they tried to get back, Rain was there to stop them with their own USPs. Come on, Connor, call it. 13-2.
I don't want to anymore. Feels like I'm getting suckered.
You're not my dad.
Terrorists win. Sit your ass down.
That's what it's been. Sit your ass down, boy.
I'm saving a USP. Leave me alone.
That was nice, guys. See that? Dab me up.
Got his ass.
Oh, this MOUZ jersey, baby.
Meanwhile, Elige, 15-8 after that death in the pistol. But, I mean, I think a testament to just how on top of MOUZ Elige has been this entire map.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen Elige rotate so fast as he did in some of those CT rounds.
Yeah.
And I think that's the freedom that he has, which is just a really good look for him so far.
And he said the most fun part about the team is how talented everybody is. That's no secret.
Yes, sir.
You know, you get smarter players who are all elite in their own ways.
Looking for this cat hit, and it's going to be trying to overwhelm a scout that got tagged up, and even more so now, but it's not alone. Famas right here with it, going for the boost. But ready. So now Jimmy's on 20 health, Spinx on 40, Frozen starting to encroach through the apartments, and with the connector player going down, you'd think that leads you to B. But they also, killed the guy up in apps. So that's a huge pickup. And then another tag onto Brokey. So suddenly FaZe, your pistol round win looks like nothing. We're about to have 5 members of FaZe standing tall, forced by victory. The T sides have struggled, but the defense was strong to kick off this series on Ancient, and MOUZ need to tap back into that, trying to do so with a forced by win.
Yeah, that looked like very scary at so many different points, and great scout shots coming in to slow things down. Also got confirmation from Elige when she's shaking his hands off. He's air drying his hands because he just doesn't want to wipe them on his clothes.
Because he's a sweaty little gamer.
He's got a little sweat. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. For some people, it's really bad, but he says it's only a little bit, so.
Kerrigan trying with the scout. Elige will pick it up. Elige scout. This is fun. In anticipation of the cat push, but nobody coming at it just yet. Rain falters on ramp. Tech9 right behind him here in the hands of Frozen, but that's Brolin going to keep it clean with this free Galil. Love a little charity. And now Cyclops walks out top middle, trying to find contact. Missed chance, however. He says, to hell with that. Give me the dig. Oof, that's looking a little bit better. Back to the cat peak. A little more damage in. This is doable for Elige if he can bring a second with him. But Spinx gonna just commit to the fight here. Look at the health bars. Good amount of damage versus MOUZ, but they will be content that they did what FaZe can't, converting with better weapons.
All right, let's see how focused MOUZ can stay on the CT comeback. I'm sure they know they've got some stuff to work on the T sides, but they had a very solid CT side, not just from the perspective of fragging, but like, I think the most impressive part about that CT side was the late rounds for MOUZ. Like their clutch, their ability to squeeze the most out of a 2v2, especially versus a team like FaZe, probably the best mid-rounding team ever. Late rounding team. Oh man, that is unbelievable.
God, just an uppercut from Johnny Jabs.
KO.
Karate chop to the throat.
Oh, Torzy's in jeopardy, actually. They're walking out. Oh, it's just a Glock. Oh my gosh, but no.
Okay, okay, we're good. All's good. Back to normal. Brolin drops the bomb top palace, and this one fizzles out. There's a world where Elige gets another, though.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
There's a world where Elige gets another, though.
Definitely gets a plant, it looks like. That nade's not coming in.
Picked up an MP9. He's got a smoke to work with as well.
Poof. So they allow the plant to go through. No big deal. Makes the game a little bit more interesting for FaZe, but MOUZ still keep 3 up.
You know, if I was a Liege, I'd get a little table fan.
I feel like that's why you're bald, though. You just wipe it on your head.
No, that'd be crazy.
Basically just a big napkin.
That'd be crazy.
That's the whole point, right?
No. I feel like Bleh has a big napkin on his head. Like, you need a head of hair to wipe it off.
No. You don't want to get it oily.
Oh.
Rub that crystal ball, Elish.
I see a 13-5. Good challenge here from Xerxin while Rain's blind. Yeah, making the most of the flashbang. So, again, we doubt MOUZ a little less on the defense, and they are showing us why. Confident and adamant with that opening mid-fight, but now you've got to somehow plug the gap that happens here on the A site. There's no follow-through immediately out of FaZe. Had 3 players on ramp when they got that kill, but looks like they're taking this party elsewhere.
I love the activity from MOUZ inside of middle. They were definitely worried about it for a second, but as we can see, they have time to go and clear things out. Oh, and they'll take out Kerrigan too. That was one thing that was speeding up towards the B site. Yeah, but with his appearance underpass, like it might look like they're, you know, coming to mid late or going back to A.
But do they all get into the apartments? Yes, they do.
Yeah, but they're liable to make noise at this point.
But they won't. However, yeah. Dun 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 Dorian. Xerxin. Clean flank, surprises the hell out of FaZe, and that's going to force him to go running in. The cap player falters. Not ideal, but Spinx is here, so as you'd expect. Well-timed flank, and Spinx cleans up. That's a 5-round difference, but a 3K out of Xerxin. On a single point of health, he'll survive. And I like Xerxin as a connector player, Mohan. Do you have thoughts about that?
No, I love him. I mean, I think he's... But the thing is, the T side is where I think it's the most important. Just that we didn't get much of that. 5 kills in that first half. But definitely, he's the guy who likes to be overtly aggressive whenever you let him go. Comfortable taking untradeable duels, and when he's on form, he delivers them. Absolutely.
Back to the pistols. We've seen a couple zingers from that Elige Deeg. Any more left in store? Bomb will be left back behind them. Spinx out in the depths of Catwalk, flashing for a challenge here for Xerxin. And he has not been shy about keeping the pressure up on mid. Elige going headhunting.
This one's just a bit of a feel-out round for FaZe. Well, actually, whoa. Gotta be careful there.
Frozen catching one.
That works out pretty fine. Jimmy, eat up.
Player cleanup. Nicely done. Torchy's just rattling op shots off through the smoke and finding kills. Why the hell not? You know, he had such a phenomenal start back on Ancient. 19 kills in the first half.
So I think based on the way that MOUZ have been playing, you know, FaZe could come back into mid late into the rounds, but MOUZ have stayed in mid very long periods of time, and that's usually very difficult to do on CT side because once your utility expires, you're quite exposed. So I wonder if FaZe are going to try something aggressive or if they're going to opt not to fight for now. Yeah, they want that early kill badly, and they do still want mid, as we can see.
Spinx trying to get his angle, but
oh, he got some speed right here.
Nothing comes of it. Alicia's been looking to get roaring, but suddenly nothing to shoot at with all the smokes around him. Making sound on the fallback. It's going to be Spinx to challenge window. Oof, just puts his head on a silver platter.
That's an unfortunate timing. I don't know. Again, usually you're peeking window when there's pressure on connector, so everyone's turned to their side. But Spinx misjudges that.
They still have 3 players, Top Con and Elige inside of the smoke. Emerges, easy trade for Rain, but won't be able to double down on Brolin. So evened out at 3v3. Still, there's nobody in A. It's all from top of Con. Jimmy getting pelted by Util, loses his teammate. It's going to be Brokey to need that bomb plant as Kerrigan tries to challenge in front of those 2 teammates. They weren't signing up for fights.
Here's a key 2v2. It's the best position FaZe have found themselves in, but a chance for MOUZ to streak.
And it would secure their 12th. Torji locking in the firebox, so Frozen's got nowhere to go, just awaiting the retake, letting Brokey hold the line. Utility's going to confirm the retake position of Torji, and Frozen continues to just stay tucked down. He's got to wait and play that bomb, because if Brokey has to come back and try to peel a player off default, good luck.
Missed it.
Yeah, good chance. Jumping awkward one here from Torji, and Brokey's going to lock this in. You've got FaZe Clan with footing on the A site for the first time, and a T round to come with it.
And there's finally the punish where they put together some mid pressure. They have FaZe try to respond. Spinx makes a small mistake, but it ends up having a huge impact on the round because they cannot win mid any longer. And you can see just as this smoke fades, I don't know if Spinx, it seemed like he actually did intend to try to fight that, but from FaZe's perspective, that's way too easy of a kill. And one late round moment at a critical juncture goes FaZe's way.
It's a CT side that was made possible by losing versus the force buy. And all of a sudden, we've got FaZe back into action. Xertion signing up for fights. Rain's gonna look to trade as he did the last round, but this top Palace player, denied! Kerrigan's been trying to get in with kills, finally able to connect one. And it's gonna have to be Jimmy to deny FaZe a chance to step forth into the BT arena. The crowd in Cluj-Napoca awaits a FaZe Clan featuring one of North America's very best. Elige to the playoffs, 1 frag away. Jimmy scours sight, sees the scope, and can do nothing about it. He's going to try to get an angle, but now they know exactly where he is, and you see that reaction. It is adamant here from FaZe Clan. MOUZ may have had their number in the more recent best of 3s, but this new FaZe Clan bests them without a captain at their helm.
Well, how about that? How about those apples, as I would say to Jacob Pimp Vinicky or Suit